What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another episode of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. In the last episode, we continued our way through both the Performance Series as well as the Highway Patrol Unit, unlocking some more cars and doing a few events here and there. And in this episode, we're just going to continue that and progress through both of our cop and racer careers. And I thought today, since we started with racers last time, let's start off with a bang and go with the Hot Pursuit on the cop side of things. So, let's have a little bit of fun here. So we did drive, let's see, we did drive the, I believe we drove the Tarja as well as the TTRS. We got the Turismo, the Cayman, and the Shelby GT500. Let's do the Gran Turismo because I like this car. So what weapons we got access to? We have access to everything except the helicopter. Now, since it shows it down there, I'll address it. Basically, the helicopter as a weapon, as we'll get into at some point in the future, whenever their cutscene is for it. Basically, it's a mobile spike strip, and essentially the helicopter will fly and keep an eye out on all of the racers, and will drop a spike strip in front of the person in the first place. And in addition to that, it can actually be EMP'd out of the sky, which is pretty interesting. So.
All units, we have a high priority situation on Fairview Road.
Alright, let's get to it. This is one of our first big hot pursuits that we've done with a lot of weapons and a lot of cars to bust. Oh, that guy's already almost dead. TTRS. Oh, wow, he's almost dead. We'll just do this, I guess. Wrong car, but...
activated, acquiring target lock.
Why did it lock onto him? Whatever, he's dead anyway. And I think what I'll do, just to slow the pack down, I'll check a roadblock, smash this guy. That guy's down. Alright, I'll slow these guys down. Oh wow, we got jammed. That's okay. That guy got insta-busted. Oh my god, this is going to be such a quick event. This is actually kind of crazy. Let's see, this guy will...
All units, local EMPs are now authorized for use. Repeat, EMP.
That guy's down. Well, not down, he's hurt. Check another roadblock.
All units, you're clear for 1067. I repeat, spike strips are now authorized. Over.
Let's see if we can EMP him into the roadblock. Is he going to get hit by the roadblock too? Yep. We do get a roadblock upgrade, which is cool. Let's see. I believe the upgrades will be shown to us after the race. Okay, we're jammers. No, the jammer got us now, and I think they went through the shortcut. Yeah, I can see them there. Yep.
All units, local EMPs are authorized for use.
Check the roadblock. Alright, this guy should be easy pickings. I'm just afraid he's going to throw a spike, so we'll be a little careful here. No, I was trying to hit him straight on. Let's see, can we bust like this? No! Okay, so there's another way you can bust cars is if by ramming into them and sticking there for a few seconds. Damn it. I thought I was going to be able to do that even just being near him. I didn't think you had to touch. Oh, I wasn't sure if you had to touch in the first place. I just touched that car. Just going to deploy it again. Come on. And the target's really fast. Okay, that guy's down. Let's see if I can yoink this guy with the spike strip. Got him. Starting off the episode with a bang, like we said. I think that was a good way to start it all off. Sadly, I didn't get too much to understand the way that this car drives, but definitely enjoyable, so I had a lot of fun. Alright, we leveled up now. Let's see what we get. Congratulations, officer. You have been promoted. And what are we considered now? Officer 2. What a surprise. Awesome. Do we get a new car though? We do. We do get some new... Oh no, we get the equipment like I said. Here we go.
SCPD pursuit bulletin. Rolling out across the department. Ford Shelby Interceptor has been introduced to add more muscle to your roadblocks. Roadblocks of the SCPD in association with Ford.
So yeah, as you can see, we got strengthened roadblocks, even though I think we were already using Shelby GT5. Whatever, it's an upgrade. We got the LP560-4, one of the greatest mass-produced supercars of all time, in my opinion. Like well-sold, mass-produced supercars of all time. And the next event we'll do is a preview. We got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and do that.
Codename Blue Devil, the ZR1 is the most powerful and most expensive Corvette model ever. The ZR1 is the first production Corvette to achieve a top speed of over 200 miles per hour, and one that can match the performance of other exotics costing at least twice as much. While the ZR1 shares the Z06's aluminum chassis, its suspension tuning has been optimized for the car's incredibly wide front and rear tires. To achieve its performance goals, a supercharger was added to the 6.2-liter V8 that pushes its peak power up to a jaw-dropping 628 bhp at 6,500 RPM. With a raised carbon fiber hood that incorporates a clear polycarbonate window showing the engine's intercooler, the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 is instantly recognizable.
You know, when it comes to this generation of ZR1, I believe this was the first, or one of the first major generations of ZR1, because obviously we have the new generations of ZR1 and Z06 and stuff like that. But I believe that this is the first one. This is the first ZR1 that I ever saw as a kid, and so I actually loved this version of the Corvette. I'll show you what the car regularly looks like on
All
screen.
units, officers requiring assistance on Fox Flare Pass.
Because I think it looks fantastic, and I remember I have seen, I think, one or two of these in person. I've seen a dark gray one in person, and a red one, I think.
All units respond ASAP.
And this is the generation of Corvette with still, like, its fiberglass, like, rear bumper, essentially, which is kind of big suck, and I crashed, which is even more big suck, because I'm commentating, and I'm absolutely stupid and not paying attention. But I think we're still good, but yeah, this is still cool, very cool car, and the engine cover was amazing on this. Like it was really freaking cool as a kid to see, like, the engine cover to this car. So got 2.8 miles in a minute. Man, my driving is awful today, fellas. I am sorry to all you watching in the audience. This is really bad. My driving in general, even in the hot pursuit, I didn't think my driving was all that good. Got 40 seconds, I think, here. I think we'll be okay. It's just that I could have taken that shortcut and driven way better. I tend to drive this car really well, just, I don't know, I guess this time around with commentating just doesn't sit well. Ooh. Come on. Yeah, this is great commentary right now, with all these grunting and other noises. I think we got it. Yeah, we're good. Whew. I thought after that crash I wasn't going to be able to do it, but we're good. Stupid cart. There we go. Nice. ZR1. Got it. Alright, got some more cars. Let's take a look what we got here. The Lancer. Nothing too special in there. Just again, just like as similar, we unlocked the Impreza for the racer side. Last episode, we unlocked the Lancer for this side. Obviously, the the contrast, as well as unlocking cars of the previous series, or a unit. All right, getting into the racer side of things. Let's go. We just did a preview. Let's do a quick little time trial here. And we can choose whatever we want to drive, and I think it is a good time to break out the XKR. Let's see, let's do this. I like the blues on these cars. I think Jag is a car company that I've been seeing pop up more lately. I've seen an I-Pace in person. There's a few F-Paces where I live that I've seen around. One in a really nice British like racing green, which is really awesome. I do like Jag. It's definitely a car brand that slips my mind a lot of the time, even though I know it's pretty solid. I know that they haven't had the best track record and reputation for maybe the longest time, but for the most part, I do think that these days, I think Jag is a really cool company. And I know a couple years ago they did just redesign the F-Type, and they did sort of like a mini facelift on it, like a refresh. It was more of a refresh rather than like, I guess like a full body overhaul, excuse me, you know, like a full design overhaul. That's what I was trying to say. And so I do think the new F-Type generation looks really good, and it's just as mental as ever, right? It's loud as hell. It's really fast. I overall think that the new F-Type is really freaking cool, and I just like the F-Type in general. I remember I remember a video that F-Spot made where he was pulled over in his stock F-Type, and the cop thought that it was not stock, but the thing is that's how it comes stock from the company. And I know that that's also a thing that's happening with Elantra ends right now, Hyundai Elantra ends with their loud exhausts. I remember that huge court case of that guy who got pulled over and unfortunately had to actually go try and get it state rep, where he didn't get it approved because the person tested it in the actual like loudest track setting, which I'm again, don't take it from me. I just, from what I understand, you're not supposed to test it in the loudest, so the loudest mode. So it was kind of a little bit scuffed that the person tested in the loudest mode. But yeah, Jag, when it comes to their loud exhausts, can never go wrong. Excuse me, can go crazy, and they can go wrong. Unfortunately for some people, it can't go wrong. But yeah, I do like Jag. XKR is a nice car. Ooh, we got the Audi R8, which is the next car. I hate the Spider, man. And you know, one thing about the R8 is I'm really sad it's, at least this generation's coming to an end. I don't know what Audi's going to do to maybe replace it. All-electric hybrid, who knows what they're going to do, but at the end of the day, I am going to miss the R8 in its current generation. That is one thing I'm going to miss. If it's gone, then I'm definitely really going to miss it, because it's one of Audi's all-time greats. Speaking of one of the all-time greats...
Designed by Gordon Murray, the McLaren F1 held the record for the fastest production car in the world for 7 years. There may be faster cars, but the McLaren F1 is still the fastest naturally aspirated production car, with a speed of 240 miles per hour set on March 31st, 1998. Weighing only 1,140 kilograms and incorporating a specially built 6.1-liter V12 from BMW, the McLaren F1 is able to achieve speeds of 240 miles per hour due to its refined aerodynamics and incredible attention to detail. With no power steering or assisted braking, the car demands a lot from its driver, but will also reward them with a unique driving experience. There are a lot of unique features for the McLaren F1 that are added purely for their focus on driver and performance, like the central seating position, gold leaf-lined engine bay. This was for heat dissipation. Only 64 of the standard road-going version were made, which has pushed the price of owning one upwards of twice the original asking price.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a moment. And the reason we're going to take a moment is because this race is really going to be me talking about what I believe, and what a lot of people to believe, is the greatest car ever engineered in the history of the automobile. And I still hold that to myself this day. I believe that this is the greatest car ever made. For me, the major reason I do think that this car is fantastic in every single manner that you could really ever think of. And well, I wouldn't say that this car is without its faults, but the thing is this car defined the generation for cars to come. This defined the hypercar. This is the benchmark of hypercar territory. This is what started it all. Gordon Murray's incredible, major design of this car, set the automotive industry on, caused manufacturers to open their eyes to see what was possible. And the central seating position with the gull-wing doors, this 240 miles per hour, not broken record for 7 years, this car defined hypercar, and it started it all. And I really think that everything about this car is a definition of automotive engineering at its finest, especially at the time that this car was released. I remember growing up knowing this car's records, and I wasn't even too into cars. But now, as I've grown older and have learned a lot more about the industry as a whole, I do really think this is the greatest car ever made. And also, this is in a series for this game. This is in a series called the Hyper Series, which is the final series of the game, the fastest cars in the entire world. Now, when it comes to this car in specific, it's definitely not actually the car that people use in this game, unfortunately, even though, again, it's the greatest car of all time. The thing is, when it comes to the Hyper Series, even though it is a lot of fun, I do like the Exotic Series a bit more because the cars in this series are ridiculously fast, like really fast. And it's to the point where it's like, sometimes you're going so fast that I don't think that the designers of the map necessarily expected these cars to be as fast as they were, because some of these roads do not feel like they were made to handle the speed that these cars actually drive at. And you can see me sort of taking it a lot easier through these corners and stuff like that, because sometimes you go so fast you just slam into walls, and I don't want to do that. So I believe, by the way, the McLaren F1s, I know at Quail, one of the F1 LMs, I think, sold for like 14 million, and there's the guy in Beverly Hills who owns an F1 LM in white, I believe, and that's worth like a few, 10 million plus. It's crazy that this car costed, versus its original asking price, it's now worth in the tens of millions of dollars. But it makes sense. These are collector cars that people just sit on and they don't drive them. These are cars that are meant to be, in a way, they're kind of meant to be preserved, because if you don't bother preserving them, then the values go down, and all of a sudden you're left with one of the greatest cars of all time at a not so high value, even though I do believe that the car should be driven. And by the way, unfortunate, we do screw ourselves and get the silver on this, because I took it a lot slower than I should have. But yeah, I know I sort of wanked off the McLaren F1 similar to how I sort of wanked off the Carrera GT, but I really had to talk about it because we can't deny the pedigree that this car has. So absolutely stunning car. Always will think it's the greatest of all time. And I think with that, I think that'll be a good place to stop the episode. All right, did a couple of cop events and a couple of racer events, and we talked about the greatest car of all time. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials linked in the description below. And with that, guys, I will catch you guys in the next episode of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, where we will continue the performance series as well as the highway patrol unit for both the cop and racer careers. Again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Consumer versions of the Impreza WRX, which combine power with precision and performance with practicality. Power is generated from a 2.5-liter 16-valve boxer engine with turbo and intercooler, generating over 300 bhp at 6,000 rpm. Trademark poise and pin-sharp handling are retained at all times. The 5-door hatchback design has been developed from the standard Impreza model. Noticeably widened body flares and a longer wheelbase with shorter front and rear overhangs clearly define the Impreza WRX STI and outline its performance credentials. All legend, no compromise. A modern interpretation of classic Mustang heritage. With flowing lines that emanate from highly sculpted surfaces, Ford designers achieved a seemingly impossible feat: to give even more muscle to this iconic car. Below the domed hood lays a beast growling, waiting to be unleashed. Building on learnings from creating the 40th anniversary Shelby GT500KR, the refined supercharged 5.4-liter V8 now develops more power, more torque, and is more fuel efficient. Refinements to the body shape and the sealing components was the key to guiding the airflow around the car and creating more downforce with less drag. The front of the car features an improved splitter and a flush hood, which sets it apart from the base Mustang.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives.